Okay, let's go. I am pumped for this one. Logo reveal. Hi, my name is Dan. I make videos for part-time creators or lazy creators to help them find the right tools to get things done and to inspire them to create more. So if that's something for you, I'd love for you to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Okay, just one thing straight out of the gate. I'm no branding expert. When it comes to marketing and branding, I'm constantly trying to figure things out myself. This logo design was actually the first time working with a designer on my brand, so this video is more sharing my experience and showing you the final results. But hopefully by telling you how I did it, you might find it helpful in knowing how to approach something like this for your own brand. What I want to cover in this video is why I hired a designer and how I found one, and I want to show you how I used Millernote to create a branding board for my brand that then served as a brief for designing the logo. There's actually quite a bit of work that you need to do and questions you need to ask yourself before you start creating a visual brand. So we're going to touch on that as well. For my photography brand and my current Lazy Creator logo, I used the Squarespace logo maker, which generally did a good job, but I always wanted to work with a professional designer to help me build a proper brand, including the fonts and the colors and all these things. I'm really not good in being consistent with my content, and my Instagram accounts are testament to this. I can follow branding guidelines, which I'm doing all the time for the marketing stuff that I'm creating for my full-time job, but I'm terrible in creating branding guidelines and consistency for myself, so I definitely needed help with that. For quite a while I was considering asking friends who are designers to help me create my logo, but I think I wouldn't have felt comfortable going through multiple rounds of revisions, and there was the risk that I might settle for something that I'm not fully happy with. If any of my designer friends are watching this, I'm sorry, but it wouldn't have been a fun process with me. And oh boy, did I have a lot of notes. Then a few weeks ago, I watched a vlog from Julia Trotti, a photography YouTuber based here in Sydney, and she was talking about how she had recently engaged a designer for her channel design. So I checked him out and got in touch with him on Instagram. His name is Chris. He's also based in Sydney, which I thought was great. We messaged a couple of times and then jumped on a call a couple of days later. I really enjoyed talking with Chris about my brand and what I'm trying to do with it, and see how he translates that into visuals. With the logo we ended up creating, I now feel like I have a consistent brand that still gives me enough flexibility to change up colors or different elements of it while my channel is growing, but I have something that generally guides me moving forward. To get things going, Chris sent me a list of brand exploration questions for me to fill out so he gets an idea of what my brand is all about. I've come across these kind of questions a number of times before, and I realized that I hadn't really done the legwork for my Lazy Creator brand yet. So I decided to do a deep dive and create a proper branding board outlining what my brand is about, who it targets, and what visual elements I want incorporated. And for that I used Millernote, one of my favorite tools for creators, and I've talked about this a number of times on this channel already. In case you don't know what Millernote is a productivity app that is specifically designed for creatives or anyone who wants to do visual planning and organization. Before we jump into Millernote, this video is not sponsored, but I did reach out to the Millernote team and they were kind enough to send me a code that I can share with you guys in case you decide to sign up. If you use the code DAN30 before the end of this month, you can get 30% off the Pro plan. I can really recommend it. I'm a very visual person and Millernote really helps me organize my creative projects, and it just looks beautifully arranged and you can just move things around. It's very, very easy. I made a couple of videos about Millernote and how I'm using it, so in case you want to check them out, I'm gonna link them in the description below. Thanks so much to John from Millernote who gave me the code to share with my audience, even though my channel is still very small. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm using the phone app at the moment to go through with you guys, but I'm gonna show you screen recordings so you can better follow. Okay, so it starts with some general information about the brand, so the name and the story of the Lazy Creator, where I explain who I am, what my backstory is, and how the idea for the brand was born. Then I have all my social links, my contact details, and my current logo and the visuals I'm using. So this is my logo and my current channel banner. Then I have a separate board where I've collected all the colors, fonts and graphics that I'm currently using for Instagram stories or Instagram posts or Pinterest, and also my thumbnails. So you see here, it's a little bit all over the place. There's not really consistency. I try to use like one specific font, but the colors are all over the place and it's not necessarily very consistent or very stylish. Then I have my content pillars here, which are basically my main topics that I'm making videos about, which is productivity and simplifying your creative work, photography and videography tips, and personal stories from a part-time creator in Sydney who's originally from Germany. Okay, and then we go into the brand exploration questions that Chris sent me. So it asks you, what does your brand or business do? What will your mission be, your brand personality, your brand values? I'm not going to go into much detail here, but let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing the full board and I can share a link with you. Moving on, I have different columns for my target audience. So what everyone tells you is that you should describe your target audience in a lot of detail and even create avatars, which I did here. So I have Oliver and Liz, and I included the age, where they come from, what they do for work, and what their pain points are when it comes to their creative projects, so that you can really get an idea of who I'm creating my content for. Okay, and then I've got my goals and objectives, what I want to do with my brand, and then we go into the creative direction. And here I've added things to include, so basically the logo, the color palette, and I also asked the designer to include some recommendations for fonts. Then placements and use cases, which is very important before you create a brand, to think about what am I going to be using it for? Is it only for a channel banner? And are you going to be using it in video? Do you need an icon for a browser tab? Or maybe you want to create merch? And then I included some brand attributes which serve as a guide for the visual language and the overall style. Because, for example, I wanted simple and clean and modern instead of, you know, Renaissance. What? Anyway. In the last column we have the visual moods, and I created a different board for this as well. And in here I've collected a bunch of images and fonts, logos, shareable content and merch to give Chris an idea of what I'm resonating with. And then I also included a number of colors that I like. Yeah, so this is the board that I sent Chris for him to start working on the design, and the rest is history. So I think it's time to show you the final result, the big reveal. But first, give this video a like down below, and I'm excited. Here we go. There you go, that's it. I'm really happy and I'm really excited that I now can finally start using it, because I didn't want to use it before sharing this video with you. And you might have noticed that one brand element was visible throughout the entire time of this video. As soon as we finalized the logo, I ordered a t-shirt with the icon on it, and I've got the full word mark here in the back label. So I'm trying a few different clothing things with the brand as well, and I'm probably going to share that process with you in my vlog. So if you want to follow that, then make sure you subscribe. If you need a logo or a branding design, hit up Chris, he's awesome. I'm going to put his website down in the description below. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed that little journey and the final result. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also make sure you check out Millernote and take advantage of the code if you like. It really helped me visualize this process and getting my message across. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Take care.